welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking you through my makeup collection and how I store everything. And I've also recently just had a rejig with my storage and reorganized everything. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of a decluttering tips section at the end of this video, so keep watching if you're interested in that. So as you can see, we're starting off with the left side of my IKEA set of drawers, which I mentioned these in my wardrobe tour and storage, so I've already spoken about those, but I keep the majority of my makeup on top of this. So this is the main bulk and this is what you see in the background of my videos. So I'm going to get started with the skincare on the left and work my way over to the middle. So there's a lot of skincare over here. There's also some hair care like my hairspray and my leave-in conditioner, but the majority of this is skincare, so for body and face. I keep a lot of it in the bathroom for obvious reasons, but I have things like my moisturizers and serums which I just like to keep over here. So next to my skincare I have my Muji drawers, and I have a lot of my brushes on top of my Muji drawers. I have so many brushes. I'm a bit of a brush fiend. But over here we have a pot of eye brushes, and then we have face brushes over here. There's some what are those? Zoeva bamboo brushes at the back. One of those is really dusty. I need to sort that out. That's disgusting. And then over here I have my Eco Tools brushes, and then there's some Kevyn Aucoin brushes at the back. And to house all of my brushes, I keep them in candle jars, and it makes the best storage for brushes. So I love this. This is a Laura Mercier candle, and I don't think they do it anymore, sadly. This one's a NARS candle holder. I hated that candle, it was awful. This one's from an old like cotton linen one, and then at the back I just have an old pencil holder which I spray painted rose gold, and then I have more of a brassy silvery one at the back. And as you can see, in addition to the candle holders and being a candle jar hoarder in general, I'm also a perfume hoarder. What you're going to see in this video isn't even all of my perfumes. I'm keeping that for a separate video, but these are some of my favourite perfumes over here at the moment. This one's from Guerlain, but it smells like Fanta, which is incredible. I think it's called Aqua Algoria or something like that. It's probably the worst pronunciation ever. Oh, this little copper bunny is from Next. I am so in love with him. He's just like my best friend ever. And then over here I have a Chloe miniature. This is the Chloe de Rose or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but I love that. And then I've got a replica scent back here which is Lazy Sunday Morning. Then on top of my Muji drawers I have a little lipstick holder and other things kind of holder, so I keep my favourite MAC lipsticks on top here. I don't know whether to tell you what my favourite MAC lipsticks are or save it for a separate video. I might save it for a top 5, but I'll give you a sneak peek of one. So this one is Cosmo, and it's an amplified lipstick, and I've been loving using this so much recently, so that is one of my faves. Then next to my MAC lipsticks I have my Chanel nail polish remover. Then I have a Charlotte Tilbury lipstick, and I think this is in the shade Kim KW. Yep, I am obsessed with this. This isn't out until July, so sorry for the teasing, but this is just my ultimate favourite nude of all time. Then at the back I have my Burberry primer and foundation, which are lovely bases. Then I have a backup of my Max Factor Full Slash Effect because I'm obsessed with that stuff. Basically I keep a lot of my favourite mascaras back here. So I've got an airing one. The airing, lengthening and volumizing mascara is just such an awesome mascara. And then behind that I've got one of the Guerlain mascaras which I'm trying out at the moment. And then we move on to the Muji drawers, and most of you will be relieved that I've stopped doing a handheld kind of thing with my camera now and you're now stationary. I have all of my favourite foundations that I don't use on a daily basis at the moment in this drawer. So these are all ones that I love and do use regularly, but I'm just not using them right now. And there's a couple of primers in here as well. So we of course have the Dior Glow Maximizer, and then Kiehl's Micro Blur Skin Perfector, and then I have the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation, which I love. I also have the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Matte Foundation, which is such a great matte foundation. I would highly recommend this. Then the Dior Nude Skin BB Cream. I have backups and backups of this stuff, but it's just such a good lightweight base. Then I have the updated formula of the YSL Touche Éclat, which is just one of my favourite dewy foundations of all time. And then the Guerlain Pearl Gold Foundation, which is so beautiful, but it's definitely my winter shade. And then we have my bronzer and blush drawer. So you guys might know that I'm very particular over my bronzers and blushes. So these are some old favourites that you will probably recognise. So we've got the Givenchy Healthy Glow powder, I think, at the back. Oh my god, I haven't got my glasses on, I can't even see. And then we have Benefit's Dandelion blush, which is Such a beautiful blush. Then I've got a Topshop highlighter. It's got like a champagne lilac sheen. Then I have a NARS blush. I used to have so many of these and now I only have a few. And this is the shade Gina. I don't even need to look at the back of it to know this. I just know this was my first blush that I ever bought. Then I have a Dior highlighter, which I got around Christmas time, I think. I think it was limited edition, and I just think that it is so beautiful. Then we have the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer. And then I actually have a MAC concealer palette down here. Then we have the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow, which is a very old favourite of mine. Then we have a drawer that contains MAC lipsticks and one Rogue Clinique lipstick. I gave away a lot of my Clinique lipsticks recently to my mum, so I don't have too many of them anymore, but I have a couple left. One's in my makeup bag and one sits in here, but the majority of these are MAC lipsticks, and if you watched my MAC lipstick collection, you will have seen most of these. I'll link it below. I'm going to do an updated collection soon because I've bought quite a few more over the past year, so I think coming up over the next few months there will be an updated version of this. Then we have the drawer of concealers and a couple of liners. Now we are moving on to my absolute favourite drawer. It is a bit of a mishmash, but I just love all of the pink and gold tones running throughout it. So this is quite heavily dominated on this side of the drawer by Clarins. I love their lip product. Then over the right hand side I have lip balms, so I've got quite a few. I've got one from Chantecaille, I've got a Glossier lip balm, I've got one from Guerlain, which is their Super Lips lip balm, which is amazing. Then in the next drawer down we have palettes and a couple of bronzy pieces, so there's some eyeshadow palettes from Tom Ford in here. Then I have the L'Oreal La Palette Nude here, which is the pink toned version. I've used that in quite a few tutorials. And then a couple of L'Oreal Singular eyeshadows. Then we have my other daily lipstick drawer, and I'm not going to take you through everything in here because that would take me forever, but I have some Chanel lipsticks back here, a couple of Estee Lauder lipsticks, an Illamasqua lipstick, Erin, Tom Ford, Burberry, Topshop, Tom Ford again. Then I have my liquid lipsticks over here, so we have the Balm, Kat Von D Everlasting liquid lipsticks, Topshop liquid lipsticks, and then there's a mini Tom Ford one back there. And then I also have this mirror which sits next to my Muji stash. I bought this recently from Zara Home, and it's just the most beautiful addition and completely makes this makeup setup. I've also got some Next fake flowers next to it because I cannot be dealing with real flowers anymore. And then next to the mirror I just have a Dior perfume bottle and my L'Oreal nail polish, which I've got on today. Love that a lot. You can't really see it because it's all blurry. So next we have my vanity area, and this is basically where I keep all of the things that I use daily. So I keep a lot of my palettes over here, my favourite foundations, my eye cream, because I always forget to put eye cream on if I leave it with my skincare for some reason. So starting on the left hand side I have a few little odds and sods. So down here I have a Guerlain Meteorites powder, and then I've got my replica perfume. This is my most favourite one out of all of the replica fragrances. It's called Funfair. It basically smells like toasted marshmallows and cotton candy, and I'm all about that. Then we have my Wild Mint White Company candle and my Kerastase hair oil. Then here I have my favourite brushes which I use daily. So I've got my Artiste brush which I use for foundation and blending. Then I've got my powder brush from Bare Minerals. Lots of these look like they need a clean. I'm so aware of that, by the way. I've got my Real Technique setting brush which I use for concealer and under eye powdering. I've got a little Zoeva concealer brush which I actually use for contouring my nose. Then I've got an EcoTools brow groomer in there as well because I always find my brows need a brush or they need product brushing out of them because I go overboard. Another Zoeva eye blending brush because I'm obsessed with the Zoeva ones. Then we have the acrylic storage that's on top of the drawer as all of my foundations. So my favourite Chanel one, my favourite Dior one. Then I've got some more tubey foundations and primers here. So my favourite Guerlain foundation, my YSL Top Secrets primer, kind of glowy thing. I've got a Guerlain lip balm, YSL nail polish, which is the only other one that I use apart from this L'Oreal one. Then I've got Tom Ford Spanish Pink lipstick, I think this is. And then at the back I've got my cream eyeshadow stick. And then I've got lip liners and eyeliners back here. Then in the section right at the back I have my palettes. So I have two of my Becca palettes at the front, then a Zoeva palette behind that which is the Cocoa Blends palette, and then another one behind it which is the Zoeva Nude Spectrum palette. Then next to this acrylic storage I have my little pot of hairpins. This is the only way I've ever found it easy to keep track of my bobby pins, otherwise I just lose them. Then I've got a Diptyque candle which was a Valentine's Day exclusive which smells like Parma violets. It smells so good. Then at the back here I have a backup stash of Huda Beauty eyelashes because I am obsessed with them. Then this little spot here is where my actual makeup bag lives and it's just overflowing at the moment, so we're going to look past that and move over this way. So now we're moving on to the bottom drawer of the acrylic section, and this is basically where I keep a lot of things that don't really fit on the top half, but I want to make sure that I'm using on a daily basis. So if it's not new things, it will be things that I love that are old favourites, like this Clarins eyeshadow and the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue. And then we have some of my favourite lipsticks in the world, which are Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks, of course. And this one is the shade Bitch Perfect, which you guys will know I love. It's one of my favourite lipsticks of all time. It's just such a beautiful colour. Actually, let me know if you'd like to see a Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks collection, because I would be so up for filming that. Leave me a comment below. And then the final thing in here is the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade, which I've had for such a long time. I bought it when it was first released, and I'm trying to make an effort to use it more because it's such a good product. So that is my makeup storage and collection. I hope you guys enjoyed that. So I'm going to insert a little clip now of what things look like before I cleared out my makeup. It just feels a lot more organised, and it also is quite pretty as well. I really wanted something that looked nice. I was sick of seeing this stack of acrylic drawers that just looked so ugly. So if you are looking to downsize, my #1 rule for downsizing is looking at what you've used in the past 6 months. If there's anything that you haven't used, those go into a pile of questionable things, and if it's 6 months to 4 months, I put those in a separate pile and decide if it's something I'll use again in the summer or it's something I'm just never going to use. And all of those things, as long as they are still usable, are passed on to family and friends. Whilst I'm clearing out, I look at everything, whether I'm deciding to keep it or get rid of it, and I try and remember when I purchased or was sent it so that I can keep an eye on the expiration dates, because there's just not a lot of point in holding on to makeup that's very old. It's just not going to perform at its best. And in terms of expiration dates, I'll try and leave exact details in the info box because it's hard for me to remember off the top of my head, but I, as a general rule, go by foundations should be kept for a year unless they're still okay and I'm using them regularly, so I know they're still okay. Cream products are at a similar level, so I always assess those, see whether they're still kind of working nicely, whether they're still blendable, whether they've gone a bit gross or lumpy. And then with powders, they can of course last a lot longer, so I just do a good old swatching and make sure everything is still creamy and buttery and blendable, and as long as that is the case, then I will keep it. But for hygiene reasons, it's obviously best not to keep something for too long. And my final tip would be to look at the trends in your makeup bag, so to see what kind of things that you love using the most. So for me, I know I love neutral eyeshadows so much. I love a good foundation, so I always keep more foundations. I love nude nail polishes. What else do I love? I love a good bronzer. So the things I love, I generally tend to keep backups and have more of a variety of those things, rather than, for me, I'm not, for example, a cream eyeshadow wearer. So I had a drawer full of cream eyeshadows in my Muji stash, so I know I'm never going to wear them, so I've passed a lot of those on to my mum and her friends, who will absolutely love them. And because of that, I now just feel like everything in my makeup collection I would absolutely love wearing, and I feel like I can switch things up and just access things a lot more easily because I'm not distracted by a ton of things that I never ever use. So that is it for my makeup storage collection decluttering video. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this little mishmash. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. I hope you're all having a lovely day, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye.